Hey friends, it's Tracy. Welcome to today's video. Now guys, I know that it is just a few days before Christmas, but when I ran across these cute gingerbread ornaments over at Walmart, I was inspired to create a little gingerbread arrangement for my home, just like my sweet friend Christina from the Rust Covered Cottage did. And so I didn't want to wait till next year because I knew that I would put them on a shelf and I would forget about them and I would never make this arrangement. So I'm going to show you how I did it, how I put everything together. I have lots of steps in my project, because that's what I do. That's what I love to do. So guys, let's go ahead and get started and let me show you how I put this cute gingerbread Christmas arrangement together. All right, these are what I'm going to be using. These adorable little gingerbread. Let me tell you, they're so cute. They're just little ornaments that I was strolling Walmart and just trying to, waste a little time before I went and picked up my son. And so I ran across these and I was so inspired to create some. My sweet friend Christina from the Rust Covered Cottage created a cute little gingerbread arrangement. And I was so inspired. I went, oh my goodness. And so, yes, I know it's only a few days before Christmas and I could wait till next year. But I know me, and it'll get pushed to the side on a shelf, and I never will do it. So I decided to go ahead and do it today. So I'm going to take y'all guys along with me. I got them from Walmart. They were $5.98. None of their stuff is, marked down yet, but I'm just saying I just hope to inspire someone. Some other things that I'm going to be using is some of these stuffed candy canes that I have, in my stash, and I get questions about these because I've been decorating with them and having them in some of my arrangements, or like my decor when I have my, my still pictures and stuff. And so my sweet, awesome mother-in-law made these for me many years ago. And so I decorate with them every single year. But what I think I'm going to grungy them up, and I'm going to be using my sweet friend Tracy Campbell from My Sweet Home Living. I'm going to be using her grunge mix. I'll tell you about that a little bit more later. But I'm not a sewer, but my mother-in-law is, and so she made me some of these awesome candy canes. And then another thing that she made for me, are these peppermints. She made me some of these. They're just muslin, and she just tied homespun around it. And then what I did is I coffee grunged them. Now, I made these many years ago. I would sell them in my booth at my craft shows. I don't do craft shows anymore, only because of just that kind of like that season is over for me, unless I get bitten by the bug again. But we did that. Me and my husband did that many years ago. And so I would just sell them like little packages, for bowl fillers and that kind of thing. And so, but they're not that hard to make, I don't think. She just sewed them and then put the homespun, and then I just coffee grunged them and put some little flakes on them. And that is really cute. Oh, also, I decided I'm going to use one of these flickering candles. Now, I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, my favorite store, guys. Y'all know my favorite store. Anyway, but they're battery operated. They have like a little flickering. And so it just takes 2 AA batteries, and, the top just screws on, if you don't want it to flicker or be on or that kind of thing. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using some styrofoam and, berries, pit berries, and all of that good stuff. Also, in my stash, I just pulled out, I decorate with these all throughout my, all the year. And so for this arrangement, I'm not going to have it be permanent, only because I'm just going to take it apart. But I wanted to show y'all, I just really wanted to do this. I was so inspired by my friend Christina. And so I'm like, yes, I'm going to go ahead and make it, because that's what I want to do today. That is what I want to do. So I just have some rusty bed springs that probably my mother-in-law gave to me. Honestly, she's so good to me, and she finds me all this. primitive, country, rustic, vintage stuff. And so I am so grateful. I'm also going to be using some Jingle Bells. Now I rusted these up using my friend Linda from FaithChick777, DIY by Design. I used her method, her rusting method. I always refer to that. I want to give her credit for that because I just use her method. I will put a link in the description so that you can, you know, see if that's something that you're interested in. I'm also using some different greenery and some berries and all. It's kind of like stuck underneath there, but you guys, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go ahead and get, for my can, I was going to use one of the gallon cans that Christina used, but I wanted it to be more oblong. So my sweet mother, my actual mom, she keeps these for me because she, like, for Thanksgiving, I think we had green beans or something like that. And so she keeps these cans for me, these gallon cans. But if you know someone that works at a restaurant or, you know, something like that. But what I decided to use is this can from Hobby Lobby. Now these are usually in their springtime. It's galvanized. And so I wanted to use this because I wanted more of an oblong, you know, container. And also I ain't got to paint this. I want to have to paint it. Anyway, so I just have several of these, so that is what I'm going to do. So guys, let's go ahead and get started, and let's put all of this together in this cute arrangement. Okay, I have my two stuffed candy canes that my awesome mother-in-law made for me. And so what I'm going to use is this grunge mix from Sweet Tracy Campbell from My Sweet Home Living. I just made a batch of this a few weeks ago. And so then I, you know, just have it stored in my kitchen. And so then this morning when I was going to use it, then I just put it in the microwave for just a few minutes. It in like 30 seconds. That's what she recommends. Sorry, I had forgotten to put my phone on silent. Anyway, so I will, I will link to Sweet Tracy's grunge mix as well as her YouTube channel, because if you love grungy, primitive, country stuff, and guys, I'm almost doing it again. I don't know why I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to, I don't put my gloves on and then my hands get all messy, which I'm okay with because that's what happens. But then if I touch something that I don't want, you know, the coffee grunge and stuff on. So, I don't know. I like a little grunge. But I know that's not everyone's style. And then I probably really should bake this, but yeah, I ain't got a oven in my craft room. So we're just gonna, you know, wing it. We're just gonna wing it. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So I have some instant coffee. Now I'm going to be using some of that. And just kind of spread some of this on here. Crunch this up a little. Maybe I should have asked for an easy bake oven for Christmas. I'm just joking, but that's an idea, you know. I do not have a, I don't have an oven in my craft room, but so anyway, so now we're going to sprinkle some cinnamon, and then we're going to hit it with the heat tool. And it's going to dry a little bit. Now, like I said, if you don't like the grunge, then don't do it. But again, my awesome sweet mother-in-law made these stuffed candy canes for me. many years ago, and I use them every year. And so this year I decided to, you know, change it up a little bit and grunge some of them because I have some. Okay, for some little extra pizzazz, now this is just something that I like to do for my projects. I have this craft or just Elmer's spray adhesive, and then I found this faux snow at the Dollar Tree. It's very glistening, and I like this because it has like a fine texture. And so I'm going to be using that to create just a little pizzazz for my candy canes. So this one's a little bit more dry than this one, and so it kind of lightens up. The coffee grunge really lightens up. So I know someone was probably saying, "Oh my goodness, you should have left it like that." You know, the red ticking, but you know, everybody can do their thing the way that they want to. Okay, so I'm going to start working on my gingerbread, and even though there are stuff, they're very cute. They have cute little rickrack, and the blanket stitch around the gingerbread have cute little bows, but I want to just kind of do a little more my style with primitive country. You know, even though I do like the original or the reds and the greens, I do love that. But I just, for my, this arrangement is going to be more primitive country. So, and I don't know if I'm going to use all 3 of the gingies or if I'm just going to use 2. I don't know if I'm just going to use the boy and the girl, but we're going to go ahead and, you know, prepare them anyway. So I just want to cut off these hangers. I also took off the little red bow from the small girl Gingy because I forgot all ago. Okay, so I have some of this homespun fabric in the gingham, you know, kind of colors with the red and the, I don't know, cream, I guess. Got this from Hobby Lobby. And so I just put a knot in it, and then I'm going to cut it down and then attach that to her little head just using some hot glue. Oh, so cute. Yeah, this is just a little bit more my style. Look at that, just so cute. Okay, so then for the little boys, let's see what we're gonna do. Just maybe tie a little, maybe I just want to do the same thing, but make him a little bow tie. Let's make a little bow tie. Okay, I'm just using some skewer sticks that I've had in my stash, but you know, you can get them anywhere. And so just to add just a little color, I could, you know, stain these or grunge these or whatever, but I don't want to. I'm going to use some washi tape. Now guys, I've had so much washi tape for years, from my card making years, and I don't remember where I get it from, or where I got this from. I don't know, but some of it is red and white, like red and white stripe. I'm going to say the craft store. I don't know. Gosh, I've had them for so long that I don't remember where I got my washi tape from. And so just add just a little decoration, you know, to the little skewer. That's going to stick in there, so I'm not going to worry about it going all the way down. Just some little red and white stripe. So I think I'm going to do those, the red and white stripe on the ones for the boys. And if you're not familiar with washi tape, it's just a pattern of thin tape that, I don't know, it's just cute. I've had it from my days when I was, you know, scrapbooking and card making and that kind of thing. So I wanted to use some because this is one of my favorite ways to kind of dress up sticks, you know, if you have little washi tape. I think you get it like at Michael's and Hobby Lobby in the scrapbooking section, I think, or the card making section. I think that's where I probably got most of my stuff. And then I also have some of this red and white polka dot. And so I decided to use the red and white stripe for the boys, for the dudes, and then the polka dot for this sweet little Gingy girl. So I'm just wrapping this around, and if it tears off, it's really no big deal because it's just tape, and you just kind of pick up where the other end left off. It just really is okay. Like, you can't tell that there's like a seam, if that makes sense. How cute is that? And depending on how close you wrap it will depend on what it's going to look like. Anyway, so then what I'm going to do is to stick them into my little, into their little booties. What I'm using, I have this little knife. This is part of my Cricut stuff, but an X-Acto knife. That's really what it is. I had tried one. I wanted to see how it would work. And so this is felt. And so, you know, it just kind of, I've just used my little knife. An X-Acto knife, again, it would work as well. And so let me see which one I want to use. I think I'm going to use this one. This one's a little bit better wrapped. So I had just made a small slit in the back of his bootie, and I just stuck that in there just like that, and enough in there for it to stay, but you know, I don't want to, you know, I want to be mindful that I want my stick to, you know, have some room so it can stand up like that. And so what I did is I just took my little X-Acto knife, or my little knife. I know X-Acto is a brand, and this is not. This is a Cricut. This came in my Cricut tools. And I just, you know, kept going back and forth until it went through that felt. Just like that. Just like that. And so the stuffing doesn't come out. And so let's see. We're going to put just a little bit of glue. And then just kind of stick that in there. Just like that. And then I just kind of secure it with another little dot of hot glue. And then I have my little gingerbread people for my little arrangement. Ah, so cute. Okay, so I am going to, you know, this is way too white for me. way too white. So I thought about wrapping washi tape around it, which, you know, one could do that. And then I thought about adding, you know, wrapping it with homespun fabric. But then I'm like, no, I want to, you know, take it a step further and make things, you know, not harder on myself, but just, y'all know me, I add a lot of steps and a lot of stuff into my projects. So I just have one of these brown paper bags that, you know, you can get like lunch bags from the grocery store. And so, I just want to, I'm just gonna, you know, kind of wrap it, but I don't need all of this. So let's see, the best way to measure the size I need. So I'm just gonna cut this off straight. Cut that off straight. And then my little invisible pen that I shared in another project. They're called friction pens. I got them from Amazon. And so they're like invisible pens where, like, you know, if you want to make a mark and it disappear. I picked that up from a fellow creator. So I've been using that ever since, or been using one of those ever since. All right, so then, I know I'm not going to need all of that either. Probably just going to need a little bit. You know, sometimes I do things the hard way. Is it going to wrap around? Yeah, it will. Okay, so now we're going to crumple it up. And then, I don't want my batteries to fall out. Then I'm going to wrap my candle. That's what I'm going to do. Wrap my candle. And I want kind of some torn edges here. Just using my distress ink in the color Vintage Photo. It is my favorite. Y'all know that. And yes, I am going to add some coffee and all of that stuff to it, but you know, this just makes me feel better. Okay, so I'm just gonna add just some glue just to get it started. And it's just because I did not want the white. You know, the candle was just so white. I needed it to match my decor. You know, my Gingy arrangement. See, that's looking better already. And then I'll grungy that up too. But it keeps flickering because I keep pushing it down and it's like meeting the battery. It's meeting the top of the battery. Okay. So then now I have some Mod Podge. Just regular Mod Podge. And let me get my little coffee grunge. Let me get some gloves. Aren't y'all proud of me? I remembered. And the reason I was saying this is because in a couple of other projects, I like started doing it before. I don't know, do I just need one or two? Okay, we're going to see so I don't waste them. All right. Okay, so for this one, real quick, what I'm going to use is some Mod Podge. Just kind of brush that on. Then take some of the coffee. Just kind of smear that on there. And like the coffee and the Mod Podge, it kind of like looks like it's melted. So then also I'm going to show you how a trick I picked up from Tracy Campbell with My Sweet Home Living of how to get the candle drips. Haven't tried it yet, so we're going to try it together. So just kind of grunge up my candle. Just kind of add some, oh, got it on the bulb. That's all right. I wanted a grungy candle. Getting a grungy candle. All right, let me put that in there. And yeah, I don't need those anymore. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with my heat tool to dry it off. Or dry it off. Dry it up. Not off, up. Okay, so then now I'm ready to put on my wax drips. And so, like I said, I got this tip from Tracy Campbell from My Sweet Home Living. And so what she suggests is that you start, you know, we think that we would start from the top of the candle going down, but what she did was start at the bottom a little bit, you know, bigger, and then go up. I don't want to go too close because I don't want it to glue my top of my candle. And so I know that you may really can't see it too good on camera, but what I'm going to do is I think I might hit it with, you know, to define them a little bit more. And some I want a little bit longer than others. And I'm not making very straight lines because I was trying to like freehand it or hold it in the air. I didn't have anything for it to like stick on. So make little shorter ones, little longer ones. Okay, so I have my container. Again, this came from Hobby Lobby during the spring season. I got it, you know, on sale. And so I'm going to start putting my stuff in my container. And so what I want to do is kind of build up. And so I just have a block. Well, I decide which way is going to be the front because I want my candle to stand up. And so, like I said, I'm not going to have this as a permanent thing. So I'm just building. I just have a wood block and then a can because I want my candle to stand up like that. I don't want it to be sunk down in there. And let's see, before I put those, I have one of these rusty bed springs that I've had, well, actually two of them, that I'm going to be putting my candy canes in. So then I put my wood block in and my can. I want it to, you know, be flat so that my candle is flat too. And I'm not going to do anything with the can because, you know, you're not going to be able to see it anyway. And so then I'm just going to start filling my container with greenery and all of that good stuff. Now here are my, you know, ready to go, grungied up candy canes, and I'm just gonna stick those in these bed springs. So that is, you know, what I pulled out my bed springs for, is to put those in there just like that. And then I'm gonna start filling all of my I'm gonna grab a plastic bag. to kind of give it just a little bit of cushion. Okay, so I just have a plastic bag just to kind of help a little bit, you know, so that kind of keeps everything in place. And then maybe I won't have to use so much styrofoam. So then you just have just some styrofoam. Oops. I want it to be more in the middle. There we go. Like I said, this is not going to be anything permanent. I'm just going to be, you know, decorating for the season. I'm going to take all of this apart. And so then I have this greenery garland that I've had, you know, for many years that I use. Just going to kind of play with it, stick it around. Just pulled out some Excelsior, which is like Spanish moss. Kind of gives the more whimsical touches that I like for my projects. Okay, kind of cover that up. All right, so then we're going, let's see, I've got the handle in the front, that's what I want. So then now we're going to stick in our gingerbread. And like that. And let's see. I have some other fun greenery that I want to stick in. Just to, you know, add to the character and dimension of, you know, the actual arrangement. That is looking so cute. I also have some of this greenery also. All of this greenery came from Hobby Lobby. I just love adding all of the different textures of greenery. My candle in here so I kind of know the placement where it needs to go. And so it's going to be sitting on my table or side table or whatever. And so if I wanted to, you know, pick it up, I could do that. Oh, that's looking so cute, guys. And then I have just some berries They're probably from Hobby Lobby. I'm not going to cut them apart or anything. I'm just going to, you know, stick them in there. Just kind of pull them apart so they branch out a little. And I had pulled out some of this, but I decided to go with the more red and white. I'll just do that. And I decided to go ahead and add the third gingerbread man. So what I'm going to do is add the little stick to it. I'll stick that up a little bit further because I want him to be more in the front, down a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put it right here. Just like that, where he's a little bit lower. A little bit lower. So my candle will stand up. And then I think for the peppermint, I'm not gonna like put anything in them since this is just kind of temporary, meaning like a skewer or anything like that. I am just going to add some of the peppermint candy. Just add it just like that. Add it just like that. Love, love, love it. Okay, I have some of these Jingle Bells. Now, this pack I did pick up from Hobby Lobby. These are the 32 millimeter Jingle Bells. And then also I'm going to use a little variety of my ones that I had rustied up. And so what I'm using is this very, it's more heavier wire. I'm not quite sure what the gauge is. My husband picks it up for me at Lowe's. So that's where he gets it from. And so I'm just taking my needle nose pliers. And what I'm doing is just kind of making a stopping point up at the top. And then I'm going, I should have threaded it on up at the top, but we'll just go from the bottom. And so then I'm just making a little pick out of the Jingle Bells. And so that it doesn't slide down, then I just take my pliers and just kind of make another, like, you know, where it just kind of like stays up. Like it's a pick like that. And then what I'll do is I'm going to stick those into the arrangement, you know, just for some little Jingle Bells. Now, for my like little cluster here, now these I have different ones that I rustied up already. These are from the Dollar Tree. And so again, you know, you can look for the method that I use in the description for the link to Linda's video. And so I'm using a bigger one, a medium, and then I have a baby one. And so if you can't find these at the Dollar Tree, you can find them at Hobby Lobby all throughout the year. Look where the like glitter and felt and foam and all of that stuff is. They have some gold, whoops, hello, got some gold Jingle Bells. And they have itty bitty ones too, even smaller than these ones that I got from the Dollar Tree, itty bitty ones. And so, just like I said, making a pick. And so I just want to make it a stopping point so that it just jingles, just like that. So I also decided to add just a strand of the battery operated clear lights. I'm going to string those through my arrangement just for extra light in my little gingerbread homespun arrangement. Okay, I'm going to make a small tag that says Merry Christmas for my little arrangement. So just using a fine point Sharpie marker, I'm just going to hand letter Merry Christmas. This is just a market tag that I coffee stained and baked in the oven. And then now I'm just going to add just a little white highlight to each of the happy dots. I just use my ultra fine Sharpie marker just to make the little doodles around the edges of the tag, along with my fine Sharpie marker with the bigger lines. Then I'm going to use my Vintage Photo Distress ink and distress it a little with the tag. I like to crumple it up a tad just to bend it back and forth so it's not so straight. So then I just add a little bit more distress look to the tag with my distress ink. Then I have this piece of homespun, and I'm going to attach it to my arrangement, for a cute little tag.